Dale. He came in at the height of the market in 2006.
The first time the Dow Jones Industrial Average passed the 13,000 mark.
Record-breaking kickoff to the fourth quarter as the Dow Jones Industrial Average closes at a new all-time record high.
Another milestone for the market, 14,000 on the money.
Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate.
At one point, the market fell as if down a well.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
He, along with most of us, were totally blindsided with the depth of the housing recession that started in 2007.
Dale at NAR did an amazing job of protecting the member from what could have been a really bad situation.
He has an uncanny ability to see where we should be headed.
The door slamming on home prices this morning with the latest foreclosure numbers.
The numbers of foreclosure filings are only growing, and that's thanks to home prices, which are only falling.
The national housing market is grim, to say the least.
We'll all sit back and wring our hands over change, but it takes a unique individual to embrace that challenge and to bring together all the brightest minds with best ideas to figure out a strategy.
His interests were all about the members, and we created a program called Right Tools Right Now, and all the products and tools that NAR provides our members that we actually sell through the Realtor store. He came back and said, why don't we try something novel and give them all away? And we literally gave away the value of tens of millions of dollars of products.
If you can define Dale Stinton with one word, it's vision.
Dale really feels a responsibility to the members and industry, and took a very hands-on approach, which I think some people may have been surprised by that. Is that really the role of the association? But that was the whole notion behind Second Century Initiatives.
He thought that it was important that our industry was prepared for the next 100 years, that for so long we had done everything based on doing it the same way.
Core standards, minimum services, Realtor University.
To raise the professionalism and to make that very public in that public ad campaign.
He is a person that believes that you should never be defensive and reactive. You should always be proactive and in front of things.
The success of an idea is not getting the idea. The success is effectively implementing it and then getting a group of people to agree to come with for the journey.
He led the charge to permanently ban banks from entering the real estate industry.
Trademarks, protection of data, ownership of data,
keeping the realtor in the center of the transaction.
He seemed to understand what was important, what was real.
RPR, amazing.
A national database which carries arguably the most information anywhere in the country of all of the pieces of real estate.
To put it simply, he's transformed NAR from a typical trade association to an industry innovator.
He tried to be inclusive to everybody in the realtor community and was the first one that openly started communicating with the nationals and the major franchisors.
He really reached out. He understood that there were issues that large firms had that, other brokers didn't have, and he wanted to hear that and wanted to hear those concerns.
In my world, I'm dealing with brokers, but, there's some commonality there. But when you're dealing with, brokers and agents and MLSs and vendors,
he was able to see that future, whether that was less members, more members, whether the economy took a drop off, whether the rates went up or down. He was seeing the future of what the voters' needs were.
A lot of what I think he's tried to do is to minimize some of the fragmentation that has made it such a cottage industry and really elevate it to be a lot more sophisticated.
Well, I think Dale has tried to raise the bar not only for the realtor but the industry.
It's all about listening and then making sure that when he says things that may not always be popular, it's with the members' interest at heart every single time.
I think that there are a number of initiatives in the Second Century Initiatives that Dale introduced when he took on board that will be felt. It will ripple through the industry for decades still to come.
He's rarely the first to speak, but when he does, everyone tunes in intently and knows what he says will be of vital importance.
We have benefited as an industry from his willingness to get out there and be aggressive, be proactive.
The Shoulders of Giants was originally put together as a way of recognizing and saying thank you to leaders who very freely shared their knowledge equally throughout the entire industry.
What was great about Dale is that he put a comprehensive plan together, and he didn't really waver from that comprehensive plan.
Dale was not the type of leader that would just sit back and wait for things to happen.
Dale takes great pride in understanding who his bosses are. And those bosses are the elected leaders and the members that allow us to exist on their behalf.
Dale has certainly set the standard for professionalism, for making our industry much better than what it had been before he came on board.
He's a big guy with big shoulders. Perfect recipient for this award because this award is on the shoulders of giants.